Hi YouTube, I'm Suzie from Northeast Pro Duelist, the best duelist in Newcastle who doesn't test. And I'm here with Gehan, the best duelist in Newcastle who can't read. Yesterday we went up to the Glasgow regional qualifier. 2.5 hour drive, not too bad, good driving conditions. And well, the hope obviously was to qualify for the European Championships, but we'll more on that later. Props to Johnny for lending me his deck for the tournament.
Thanks for that, Johnny. Oh yeah, well done on the X Factor, by the way.
See, it's him. He's the instigator. Playing this one as well.
His fault. He asked us.
Anyway, yeah, so we went to the qualifier. I played Gear Guy deck. Gehan played Wind Up. My kitten is taking my hand off. Apart from that, though, yeah, I didn't do too well for this tournament. I would just put it down to pure lack of experience on my part. I've only played this deck for like 2 tournaments, and as previously mentioned,
you got a cat in your face, YouTube.
I'm gonna put this booker out. Oh!
As you can see, Dex wanted to be on camera. He's a bit of an attention seeker.
Ow!
So he's annoyed now because he can't be on it. But yeah, as you're saying, Susie.
Most professional video ever. Now he's just happily gnawing on my arm, so I should keep him content for a while. So yeah, went up. I didn't do so well. Put it down to lack of experience, as I don't really test play, as previously mentioned. And I've only ever played 1 tournament, which was the last Newcastle one, which I did top 8 with the deck. But this guy is the new Scottish champion. Gehan!
Yeah.
How was that tournament for you?
Lots of mixed feelings about the tournament. It's weird. It was one of those ones where I felt I was on form. I didn't feel confident going in. I didn't feel confident in the matches, but as it went on, you know, I felt I was in form and I could take it, and I guess I did. I mean, officially, I'm the King of Scotland. That's right, me, this guy, the most un-Scottish looking person here.
Well, in this room, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm officially the King of Scotland, but technically not, because what happened was we got to the top 8 cut. They played the first round of that, so it was the quarterfinals, and then they said, "Oh, is everyone happy just splitting everything?" And it's just like, well, it's going on like 8 o'clock. Half of us have to get back to another country, so yes. And in the end, they just split the prizes between the top 4 there. But out of that, it's like I felt I could have won it. Everyone else in there, I think I'd beaten everyone else who was in the top 4 bar Andrew Rayner, who I drew with, but we'll get into that a bit later. What I got there was 12 packs of Abyss Rising, pulled one of these genome things, number 8, people might want that. A Madolce Palooza, someone might be interested in that. A number 9 Dyson Sphere. I thought it was a vacuum cleaner, but clearly it's some big spaceship. And Spellbook Library of the Heliosphere. So I have 12 packs, 4 shinies, not too bad. Got this.
This is officially disappointment of the day.
Actually was disappointing. I understand now why Simon Jesus McGoldrick didn't tell anyone what the mat was, because it's actually, I mean, it's a nice design, right? But when people go out for like nationals, it's just a copy paste, really, isn't it? And then finally, nice new deck box, because
that one I do like.
I was using this, but got this one now. It looks very pretty, that one. So that's a good thing.
So we found out how you did overall. So tell us about how you did during your matches. What was your round 1 match?
Round 1 was against Charlie from Scotland. He well, we're not from Scotland, but yeah, Charlie says the last time that he properly played was during dad format.
Tends to be bollocks when people tell you things like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't played in 2 years. Oh, but I've been test playing for like the past 6 months with this identical deck.
Exactly. Which dad format I wasn't sure of. But yeah, I mean, after last time we went up, March, my first round was against Little Jimmy, who's running a secret Village of the Spellcast deck with mained Mirror of Oaths. take into account I was playing Dino Rabbit then, with only effect bearers as my magicians. I was kind of worried what my first round would be. And it felt like that's all over again, because Charlie was playing Skill Drain. Skill Drain, yay!
It's a bit of a bad matchup for wind-ups, isn't it, the Skill Drain thing?
It's frustrating.
Stops a lot of your guys, I'd imagine.
I think it stops pretty much everything. I can't do anything there. It's like, I can't do any effects, I can't do...
Yeah, so how did you combat this?
Well, the first round it took... I was just getting battered for a little while. I was just taking 2000s and stuff. I think I was like warninging and Solemn Judgment. I had to Solemn Judgment his Skill Drain both games, and then
It's not a bad move though.
no, it's not when it's like your only option. And then just slowly just chipping away. Eventually, I got through it all just by getting up to big XC's guys and not letting him get guys out. MST was good in that game, but yeah. What did you have first round? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Whenever I have a bad day, I tend to wipe it from my memory, so I'm not going to comment on my match, as I've already told Gehan, but he seems to be obsessed with pressing for answers on this.
I don't want this just to be Gehan did amazing at Scotland.
That's all he cares about, though.
It's not.
Anyway, so did you say you beat that?
I beat Charlie round 1, so that went well.
So what did you play against in round 2?
Let's have a look. By the way, guys, very important. Write it all down. You know, that way if like judges say anything, you can say.
What did you play against in round 2?
Sorry. Yeah, round 2. I played against a guy called James. Oh, James was funny. He was like, "You're not allowed to pile shuffle in piles of 8." I'm like, "Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Go ask the judge. I'm doing it. If you really want, you can randomise it." But yeah, he was playing heroes. Very strange because his back row really didn't do anything. And first game, I must have OTK'd him because my notes say that I didn't take any damage and I won there. Second game, he sided in a few stuff that was causing me some problems. He was hitting away with aliases. But I managed to come back, mind controlled his Stratos, made the Maestroke, is that it? Maestroke guy?
He's your favourite, so probably.
Yeah, Maestroke was very good, he was a bit of an MVP. We'll have a look at, as I'll go into that a bit later, but that was round 2, won that 2-0, so far so good, hadn't dropped a game there. But round 3, I come across apparently my new lover after the end of the day, David Stevens, who was the best person in Scotland, but what happened there?
We've decided that David Stevens is too good for Scotland, so we've adopted him as an honorary Geordie.
Yep. Sorry Scotland, you got no more good Yu-Gi-Oh players, and if you do, we're going to steal them as well.
Stevens is like just one of those players who's been around for quite a while. He knows his stuff, and he is one of the better players like in the UK.
Yeah.
But so and all week running up to this, he has been like, "Oh, Stevens, so good. I'm so scared of him." Oh.
To be fair, last time I was up there, he battered me with Insectors, so I was kind of worried. I didn't want him third round, but I got him. And game 1, I had to Solemn Judgment something early on, dropping to 4,000, but I took it. Took that game. It must have been some Magician Shark fun. Game 2 though, we started in. Ooh, I thought, you know, here, just so you know, David was playing Atlanteans or Mermails. I don't know what that deck's called.
It's a bit of both.
It's a bit of both. And I started in D-Fissure. Simon Dewhurst, props to him for helping with the deck and everything. He was the one who mentioned, you know, with those guys, D-Fissure will help because they rely on Grace. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. But David had goes in match. Not good for me. I was trying to bring it back, but he was just constantly recycling. This first time I played Atlanteans, it was very, very hard. And basically it went to time there, which took us to game 3. And I want to apologise for this. What happened was, we're siding, and well, we just sided and we're about to start when time was calling. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start, Dave, but here's my deck. Can you give me Magician Shark and a Factory? He's like, I'll try. And one of his friends, I think it was John McCormick, behind him, give him a D fissure as well. I'm like, yeah, that'll be good. He's like, no, that's too much. So he gives me my deck. I draw, I look at it, I'm just like, I'm so sorry, Stephen. I go D fissure. He's like, oh, factory. He's like, oh no. So I go, magician. He's like, you haven't. Sorry, there's the shock. Everyone around started bursting out. Like, I sacked him so hard, I feel so bad. Needless to say, I won from that position. He couldn't do much. So that was round 3. Round 4, I came across Ryan from Carlisle, also known as Reginald, but I was Joseph. Suzie knows this guy. Played him as well.
I played him, but I won't say I know him.
Yeah, he was playing Dino Rabbit. First game, I had like a wind-up rat and just all spells and traps. I just couldn't do anything while he got his Lagiers and Dulkers out, and I'm just like... Pfft. Next game though, I sided in like 12 cards and he was just bricking it, so just went through just playing, and I only took 1,000 there. I think I must have run into something, that's all. Game 3, one of the favourite cards, I managed to ding him, which basically got me game. You'll know what ding is when I'll show you the deck list at the end. But that gave me game 3. Still on a roll there, still winning. At that point 4-0, so we were told 7 rounds, so basically I had to win the next one to be pretty much guaranteed, but you can never tell at these things. You just want to make sure you win. Forget tie breaks and stuff. Plan of action there. So round 5, I got warned about this guy, David Watt. A couple of the guys, including David Stevens, were saying, watch out for this guy. His avarice and his storm, or avarice and something else, always stacked to the top. I think he's cheating there, so I'm like, nah, don't worry, he's not going to stack me. And I didn't see him use pot or storm.
Why would you stack your avarice to the top though? Surely you want that a little bit later in the day.
Well, apparently he stacks those, but he didn't use either of them on me. First game, wiped the floor. In the second game, it's a bit back and forth, but he was doing a few of these tricks with his wind-ups that I hadn't really thought about. And I was like, well, I didn't expect him to do this sort of thing. Threw me off guard a bit, and he took it because he was building momentum and I couldn't get back into it. Final game though, I need to thank Danny Jackson for this, because he suggested it was the side for the mirror match. I had Gravekeeper Spies in, which threw him for a loop.
Commiserations on coming off the X Factor this week, Danny.
Bad luck, Danny. But yeah, Danny's a big supporter of Gravekeepers there, and his idea there, the theory worked out. I didn't fully understand it until I actually played that match and saw how important it was and how well it worked. So won that one. I only took 4,000 there, and that's because I had to solemn his carrier. So going into the 6th round, it's doing well there, 5-0. I came across Andrew Rayner. Rayner's like the only other decent player from Scotland.
Yeah, last time he was the only person who actually beat me. Last qualifier I went to up there, so I rate him. He's alright. He's
a good player. I think if he continues on at that rate, we're going to have to adopt him as well. He doesn't sound too Scottish, so that's...
I don't think he is. He can't be.
He can't be. He can't be. But yeah, first game, it was... first game was quite tense. A lot of checking, finding out what to do. Playing it slow. It wasn't on purpose, which I took, but then we went into time, and I had to solemn warning a monster, which basically cost me the game. So he took that,
how silly.
and that led to a draw. So round 6, I was on 5-1, meaning, and so was Andrew Rayner there. So meaning we had basically qualified. We'd make the top 8. We'd get that. But the most important thing was we qualified. As I was saying, round 8. I came up against Andy Thompson from Scotland. Now, some of you will know Andy. He's a lovely guy. But start of the day, just going around and seeing what people are playing. I was like, so Andy, what are you playing? So I'm playing Dark World. And then I come across Andy and I'm like, freaking Dark World. But no. He's not playing Dark World, he's playing some Chaos deck. First game, I had to solo him while I was at 9,000. I think he played Soul Taker. I hate having to solo him at full life, but had to do it there. Managed to win that one. Second game, he got me down to 1,250 life points. And I managed to win that as well. A lot of going into Tyrus there. Shockmaster as well. Shockmaster was the boy.
He's the boy.
Yeah, he took down Andy, and that was the top eight. That was the rounds done. Went 6 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw, and then we had to wait for the top 8.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. I mean,
should we get explained like that a bit later, like the pros and cons?
At the end.
Yeah, we'll say that for the end there. But yeah, eventually we got moved. Went to Curden Cosplay for the top 8. So I had to play Andy again. First round I took it quite comfortably. Started in. He gave me his deck, and there was an acid golem in there. And I was like, Andy, you don't want that.
You know what? In Newcastle, I know fine well your hands would have been straight up shouting for the judge if he saw that. But this guy, what a sweetie. He goes, oh, look, you've got this in here. So we'll just take it out. There you go, let's continue. Who does that? You guys don't do that at a local level. He did that at a regional. Come on.
Andy was even like saying, oh, I feel really bad if I won this now. I'm like, it's alright, it's always game 3. But it didn't come to game 3. Actually, it did come to game 3 because I lost. No, it did. It came to game 3 because I lost that, and we started in time, and it literally got to a point where whoever does the first hit wins.
Yeah. Well, it was the end of time.
Yeah.
It was the third turn of time in the top,
and
it was Gehan's third turn, and he literally had to do damage that turn to win.
And Andy had a Zen mains on the field. We also had a battle fader. So, I use my, I had a carrier on the field, was it? Yeah, used carrier.
You got the stage where you had a carrier, a photon papilloperative, and I think you still had a level 4 guy.
No, I used the carrier to get a, something from the grave. I had shark in hand. So I dropped that, and then I made papilloperative. And Andy used the set enemy controller. Yeah, tech controller by papilloperative. Luckily I hadn't normal summoned, so basically I used, I think it was a rat or something. I normal summoned something. Yeah, I normal summoned my 1 magician, used the carry effect to get another level 4, made a Zen mains? Zen mains. No, what's the level 4 guy called?
Does it matter? He was bigger than the attack vision photo papilloperative.
And that got me game there. And as you said, you know, they cut it there. We got our prizes, and they asked, are you fussy about where you came of fish? I'm like, yes, I came from another country to win this, so you put me down as first.
You wouldn't that forceful.
It was, I was very, very annoyed. I'll explain that a bit later. But for you guys, if you want to have a look, here was the deck list for it. So, 3 wind-up Riot. He's just gains you so much advantage when you have factory on the field. This is where I made a change from what Simon originally had. He had 2, but I went through with 3 magician. He advised as well so I can make the boy quicker. Really made a difference. Didn't realise until I played it. 3 shark.
Obviously.
He was such a key, especially against Gozen match, because I was able to put in my snowman eaters and him just to make like all my guys. So he was good. 3 rats. 3 rats get stuff from the grave. Be able to go through shenanigans. Great with rabbit. Blink him out. Use your
Especially under Gozen match.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. He's just so good. 2 TKs. TKRO, Thunder King Ryo. People might think that's a bit strange because I'm running factories, but I found him to be amazing, so good. 2 tour guides as standard with his best friend Sangan. Didn't need any more than that. I don't know why people insist on running that 4th target to you.
It's just to have something extra, I guess.
And one Snowman Eater. Good card. Side more of them. Sometimes wish I had more made, but it was fine. And my personal tech, one Tragodia. Very handy for making so many different things quickly. Spell lineup. 3 Wind-Up Factory. Some people play 2. Not me, I needed the 3. It's got me into, let me get my stuff quicker, get into things quicker. 3 MST. You need 3 MST in this deck so you can go off. 1 Book of Moon. Controversial, some people think, but
I think you need 3 MST this format, period.
Yeah.
People just don't care about Heavy Storm anymore because people are very heavy on the Starlight Road and stuff these days, so I think for the MST it's just what you need these days.
Yeah, Book of Moon is a controversial choice. Some people don't like it, but I love it. Best card of the in the game at the moment generally. 1 Mind Control. Came out quite often against some of the bigger stuff like against Dino Rabbit and Chaos Dragons, but against pretty much anything else, including Gear-Gaia. Brilliant card. Standard, Hull, Reborn, Storm, Avarice in this deck. You need them. Play them. If you don't, you're bad. The Solemn Trio, Judgment and Warning, got to be played. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Always, because there's so many big things. Xing Ding Ding, great card. Very, very standard Newcastle deck now. Only the 1 D Prison. I would have liked more, but space dictated I can't because I had so many other things I needed. Torrential was a must. Again, I thought about more, but it was better at 1 because I sided the other. Compulsory, that's the reason D Prison wasn't there. Second best card, in terms of versatility right now. And Starlight. Starlight's just too good.
As I said, something everyone plays right now, I think.
Just because sheer amount of back rows. Extra deck. Some interesting choices you might think. Stardust Dragon. Obviously because Starlight. You play it if you play Starlight. Photon Papilloperative. So good. But I barely went into it, but when I did, it got me game. Wind-Up Zen Meister. That's what I was thinking of. He's needed to do combos as well as just being a big 2/6 guy and rank 4. You play this in wind-ups. So good. It's the one that lets you go off and stuff. Even at 1 it's still amazing. Tempo. This guy helped so much. In fact against Andy he helped because he had a 2/6 Xyz guy and I was able to take away his materials with this. Make him big and he just stood there just ripping to shreds. My rank 5s, Adrius, didn't go into as much, but he's always a useful option. Zenmaier, when I was feeling very greedy, to blow lots of things up. Luckily I didn't run into any Starlights there. But this guy, Tyrus, he's the boy. He is the boy. I'm potentially thinking of running 2 of him over him and Adrius. Next one. Leviathan Dragon, he's so good. People underestimate just the fact that he can boost how important that is. Zenmain's pretty standard in pretty much all decks. I like him. This guy was an MVP for me, Soul of Silver Mountain. I was able to just lock things down as like a mini Zing Zhu and also being able to get back a rabbit from the grave and just carry on doing stuff. So good. Maystroke, MVP there. He put in so much work, especially against Andy. Did the job. Acid Golem, he's an interesting one in that I didn't use him too often, and at Newcastle he actually cost me game, but I needed him to get over stuff and people had to run their BLS.
You should really never play that unless you know you can survive it.
Yeah.
You know that it's not going to cause you a problem. You know you can get rid of it when you need to.
Exactly. I had to force someone to ram their BLS into it just to get rid of it because I didn't have any other options there. Or my BLS, the other way around, Levier, so good. I didn't realise how good he was until I was bringing back opponent stuff to make more X-Season stuff, especially to make this guy. Oh my god.
He's the boy.
This guy is so good. We love him in Newcastle, don't we? There's a lot of hype around him, and deservedly so. And then finally, extra deck. A couple of missing cards. I can't find them. But they were Gravekeeper's Spy to go with Gravekeeper's Guard. For the mirror match, it made all the difference because they're expecting like Snowman Eater, and they'll try and play around that. But when they ram straight into a spy, and you get like another spy out, or if you've used a spy, you get Guard. Even Guard, just as a set, he just works as another compulse, and with big defense. So useful. In the mirror match, that was where it was important. That really helped me out there. 2 Maxi in the side. Mirror match, Dino Rabbit, things like that. Really important. 2 more Snowman Eater. I can't stress how important these guys were, especially under Gozen match where I didn't have the Earth option, I had the Water option. I could do so much more. 2 Veilers. I really think this is important. I mean, tell the viewers your analogy regarding Veiler versus Maxi there.
I've always said when it comes to Veiler versus Maxi, this is going back to like the start of the Rescue Rabbit format and all of that. Maxi, if you're going to go off, right, I can Maxi you, I can get a big hand, Coolio, but if I don't play Gauze, I don't play Chigodia, I don't play more Veilers, you're just going to continue to go off and you're still going to OTK me regardless. If I play Veiler, your first move, I can stop you dead. You know, Maxi, it doesn't matter how big my hand is, if I haven't got something to stop it, I can't stop it. Look, did you, I drew half my deck, I'm still dead. Veiler, you're not going to get the opportunity to go off at all, so I'm still going to be alive next turn. That's the difference between Maxi and Veiler. I'm not saying Maxi is a bad card, of course it is a good card, but when it comes to being the difference between being OTK'd and not being OTK'd, that's the difference.
Very important, very wise words this set. That's why I put the 2 Veilers, and it did save me, especially against the Dino Rabbit guy. If I didn't have the second Veiler, I was done for. Controversial choice, I'm sure Danny Jackson will have a go at me for this, but BLS sided, so good. He actually won me matches because they do not see that big guy coming in the wind-up deck. I know some decks do play it, but it's not a common thing. I mean, if I could have, I would have tried to play Darkhound in this.
I think with the siding, because you're siding in those Gravekeepers, it makes BLS more viable.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, though, I probably wouldn't bother.
Exactly. The 1 Tarantula in the side, because I couldn't main it, and I did feel I needed it for certain matchups. 2 D-Fissure. I would have preferred Macro, but in this deck you can't play Macro. And this did help so much against Atlanteans and against the Chaos decks. And finally, 2 Soul Taker, which really invaluable. Chaos decks running like the Dragon stuff, because that's still big. E-Heroes, even Rabbit. There's so many things it's so good against that's useful. But I mean, it's not perfect. There are things I'd like to change and try to add and tweak a bit. But that's what did me in Scotland. So that was the deck list. Good and bad things about the day in total there, Susie?
Obviously my performance was bad, wasn't the best I've done in my life, but it wasn't the worst either, so I'll be satisfied with that. Tournament overall though, the venue, we've beaten that venue before for the last Glasgow qualifier. Basically the T.O. Jesus Simon owns a shop, but the shop isn't big enough to house a qualifier, so he rents out half of this little American diner place.
It's quite nice, the diner.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not the worst venue I've been to.
Not.
I've been to a venue in the middle of a toy shop where I had to stand up and play a tournament. But I get pissed off, right, because in this diner place, obviously they serve food, and so people are like ordering food and stuff in the middle of their rounds, well, not in the middle obviously because they're sitting down playing their game, but like between rounds and like just before rounds start, they're getting bowls of chips like on their tables and stuff. The tables aren't that big, you know, but they are suitable for 3 sets of players on them. They're not big enough for like a plate of chips and the game.
That really annoyed me when they were doing that.
I mean, have a little bit of sense, you know. If you finish a game quick enough, yeah, fair enough, you can have some between rounds. Or, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I can go a whole day without eating food, you know. I'm sure
We actually did, didn't we?
I usually do. Because not all tournaments give you a lunch break. Not all tournaments are like Shadow Realm tournaments.
No.
So there's that annoyed me. Also, the thing about the diner thing is all the tables are like these little booth tables, which are cool if you're dining with your friends, not so cool if you're playing with Yu-Gi-Oh and you happen to be stuck on the inside seat.
Oh,
You have to
God.
wait for the other two tables next to you on the outside to finish so you can get away. If you finish your match quickly, you could be stuck there for another hour or so, given time to see
It wasn't ideal. I'll say that, it really wasn't ideal. It was quite uncomfortable, and like trying to get things started, you couldn't until the guys on the far end were in first. Then you can sit down. So it's like, this isn't working.
I mean, usually it worked well, but the whole thing is sometimes people didn't know the rounds were starting. I had quite a couple of instances where I was standing there for ages, like with my opponent also standing there for ages, waiting for people to come and sit down. So like the second I sit down, get my stuff out, they're going to come, and I'm going to have to get up again and cause inconvenience for everyone.
Yep. I'll tell you the other thing I didn't like. There was some basic things with the way it was run. It was like, initially, and I had to say this to get this changed, they were going to print the pairings by table number, which really doesn't make sense, because if people want to find out where they are, they're not going to want to sit there and go, oh, which table am I at?
That works fine if you've got a tournament of about 20 people or less.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's not very convenient when you've got a lot of people who are trying to find themselves quickly. Just dropped all them cards. Like, looking down this big list of numbers, trying to find themselves, you need them to look for their names straight away, right? I'm a W, there I am at the bottom of the list. Yeah, I know where you are on the list, big man. So yeah, that was fortunately fixed though. So yeah, the number of players in the tournament.
Oh yeah.
What was it? A debatable 65. Yeah, it was a bit weird. There wasn't 65 people there. There was some pre-regs apparently, which had been put in the hopes that they would arrive. But then obviously that like really fucked up all the scorings, because there was a lot of people, too many people, getting, you know, wins against people who didn't exist for 2 rounds.
Yep. And then
which
it turned out
ultimately really screwed up like the ties for everyone, because people who got those obviously didn't deserve them. 7
rounds when there shouldn't have been,
yeah.
but
There wasn't like enough people actually there to warrant 7 rounds at the end of the day. But what can you do?
Good things though. Well, I want to say it ran pretty smoothly till the end of the Swiss.
Yeah, like I say, the tournament organiser has a shop, but we weren't out this diner. But I don't know if we were getting kicked out or if this was his decision, but the top 8 was going to be held in the shop rather than the diner. So we had to relocate for that.
I obviously wasn't aware of that. I'll say this much, I mean, I love the guys with Simon McGoldrick, lovely guy, you know, salt of the earth, great player of card games in general, but
champion of Huntech.
But as a TO and a tournament organiser, he's a treasure. I'm sorry, Simon, it was a shambles. It was absolutely ridiculous. Big up props to Fraser Anderson though, who really tried to keep things running along, kept things moving.
Fraser was very good.
He was a very good
organisation.
He was a very good head judge as well. He did a good job there in regards to it.
Yeah, but basically at the end of the day, for the top 8, there was a lot. I mean, this is something else that was really annoying and should never happen for a massive tournament. You can't do it for a big tournament. At the end of the day, everybody wants their prize support. How I do it in my tournaments, my locals, usually about 60 people, last round, go around, give it to everybody who's sat at their table playing their match. You know, simple, effective, gets the job done. What was decided to do here was to get everybody scrambling around the desk, talking, being loud, and then shout their names out and give them their prizes. Obviously, there's 50 people there, and you're like, Jimmy Smith, Jimmy Smith
I'll
can't
say
hear
this,
you
at
in the middle of
Nats,
everyone.
At Nats they did something similar, but they had people queue, and you showed your ID, like your Cosy ID, to get it.
That was a queue system, that wasn't somebody just shouting out who's here. And half the people weren't there, they were outside, they were at the toilet.
And the other thing is, Simon and Fraser, they haven't got a commanding enough, like loud enough voice to get people's attention to be able to get them there and do that.
Yeah.
It's nothing against them, it's just some people aren't like that.
Yeah. I mean, what we wanted to do at that point, and what Fraser agreed that we should do, was Fraser was going to take us all down to the shop and just get the top 8 kicked off, because there was no reason for the top 8 to be there. But it dragged on.
Don't know why.
I don't know why.
I was getting very irate. I was literally about to knock out a couple of Scottish guys who were annoying me.
He was very easily wound up.
I was. It was just like, you know, we were sitting around doing nothing. Us in the top 8. You know, me and Susie wanted to get home soonish, and then there was just some random twat. I can't even begin to explain how annoying he was, just taking a piss or trying to. I'm like, do you even know who I am? I will knock you out if you are going to piss me off like this. Do not test me. And yeah. Luckily the tension was broken by Stephen thinking he was my partner. Basically what happened was we were waiting to go in. Fraser opened the doors to card and cosplay, and I went, after you, babe. And Susie might not have heard me correctly or didn't hear, and Steve's like, oh, thank you very much, and walked straight through. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I don't call Dave Stevens babe, but
I would be so surely.
I'm sure he enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's like, I want to say I enjoyed the event because I did well, but I don't know. I mean, the event was the event.
Yeah, it was fair enough. I mean,
there's good and bad.
I mean, yeah, the venue is not ideal, but at least it's better than the venues I've been to for some tournaments. Nobody had to play on top of a piano like I have seen people do in some places. Nobody had to stand up like I've seen some people have to do in places. Nobody had to play on the floor like I've seen before.
It was a pretty good turnout as well.
Yeah, it's an even better turnout on Cossey. Let's leave that one there.
Yeah, prize support wise.
Well, prize support wasn't that bad. Actually.
Well, actually, prize support was actually very good compared to certain locals. Not going to go into that, but prize support was pretty good. I mean,
he's just pissed off because he had to get that man.
Look at this thing. If you went to Nats and got this, you'd be like, oh, that's all right, but.
I mean, I think you're so upset because
I do really like that. That's
the
really
match
nice.
that you were hoping we were going to get was we'd seen on the internet, somebody posted up on Facebook a couple of days before. It's got Grand Style and the, what do you call them?
I don't know.
Moulin Rouge or something on the other side.
That thing looks
and it is a really nice mat, and it was regional 2013 mat, and we're like, wow, we're going to get that one, that's amazing. But
we're not even regional 2020.
Then we turned up with this thing, which was given away at UK Nats, and yeah,
so a little bit of a.
I didn't like it then. I don't like it now, but never mind.
But you know what? One of the nice things is, like, personally for me, I know it's not for Susie at this point in time, but you know the pressure of trying to qualify for Euros is off now. But you know, if you guys watch, we'll be around. We'll travel around still, see what's around, go to some more, right?
We'll see.
Yeah. But,
and if you want to qualify for nationals, why don't you get yourself down to Newcastle on the 26th of January for our qualifier?
I think a good target we're looking for is maybe 100 people. That'll be amazing. You know, try and make it happen, but you know, you're guaranteed to get at least 50-60 people.
Yeah, it's always a good tournament, and since this guy's qualified, he'll definitely judge.
Yeah, you won't have to deal with me. Not that I'm very good.
Gehan, like the best player in Newcastle who can't read, will be the judge. One of.
We'll see.
He will be accompanied by somebody who can read, I'm sure.
Yeah, so you know, I'm not very good anyway, but at least you won't have to deal with me in the tournament, right? But, hope to see you guys down there.
So yeah, so Scotland. Yeah.
Scotland, you weren't the best experience this time round, but I proved I'm the king of you guys. And I think that's my final words there.
Yeah, so I didn't qualify this time, but you know, with the new pass downs and 40 qualifiers across the country, including nationals, which if nationals is pass downs, that's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
It'll be fun.
It'll be like 500 people who are already qualified or something.
Potentially.
Basically, if you go there, if that's pass downs and you go there and you don't qualify, you don't deserve to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Never mind qualify for Yu-Gi-Ohs. For Yu-Gi-Ohs? For Euros. Yu-Gi-Oh! Euros.
Same thing.
So anyway, yeah, that's Scotland. Maybe we'll do some more of these videos after other things if we can be bothered. But that is about it. So from me, Suzie, the best player in Newcastle who never tests, and from him, Gehan, the best player in Newcastle who can't read. That's what we've got to say for that. So goodbye YouTube, catch you next time.
Have a good one.